What is going on, guys? Today we're back with a new video, and in today's one we're going to be talking about why mods can't come to the console version of DayZ Standalone. I get this question a ton when I do a mod showcase video or an expansion update video or a video on a custom map or anything like that. I always get the same question about will these ever come to console, whether it be Xbox or PlayStation. People are always wanting them on console, always asking will they ever arrive, and they're even asking is there any time when mods will come to console, and I've always had to say no, and I never fully understood myself why they couldn't bring mods to console. But I asked the question on Twitter. If you want to follow me on Twitter, you can. My ad is on screen right now. I asked on Twitter that if people could explain it to me as to why we can't get mods on console, and a few did. I'm going to take the replies and I'm going to put them into a video for you, the console players, so you can kind of get an understanding as to why there isn't any mods on consoles as of right now. So the first thing is when a dev team gets an update for a game ready and they want to push it out for their game, the update goes through a very long acceptance process. So they upload it to Microsoft or Sony, and then they have to go through it and check it bit by bit, and this can take quite a long time. This could take days, it can take weeks, it could probably take months in some stages. Patches are probably updated months before they even get released to the public. That's probably why, because it takes a very long time. So you could imagine if modders got the opportunity to be able to upload mods to the PlayStation Network, if they do take such a long time to be accepted into it, and say then for some reason whether or not the mod breaks, something goes wrong with it, they know they're able to fix the mod, but they have to upload a patch to be able to get the mod work. Whether the patch be a big patch or a small patch, it's still going to have to go through that long acceptance process. Whereas on PC, when they do it, if there is a mod that's broken, the modder can go back in and go, oh yeah, there it is, they'll fix that patch, and then they'll instantly upload it to Steam. We can download it, job done. Whereas on console, it is going to take quite a long time. It seems quite crazy that there is such a long time for it to be accepted onto the thing, but then I did get some replies as to why it would take such a long time. And it's also a reason why you never see games get like these tiny updates. They're always big updates that you see on console. It's because they don't want to have to upload tiny little small updates every now and then, and you'll just be constantly waiting for them. It'd just get really annoying. It's also the same reason why if you see games like Warzone, or especially Warzone, I suppose, if they're bringing in a patch for a gun, they'll either keep it till the new season arrives, or they'll keep it into the mid-season when there's a big update coming out and they can push it with that big update to fix the problem. That's why they take longer. So there's also a security side to this, where if there was no long acceptance process, and if Sony and Microsoft just went, yep, upload your mods, do what you want with it. Say somebody made a malicious mod or put some malicious files into that mod, and when you put that mod on your server and players join it or whatever, imagine it could get players' IP addresses, or it could get players' game logs, or whatever. Whatever they wanted to get, they could probably get by just putting the files in for it. Then if that does happen and there's a massive security breach at Sony or at Microsoft, like there was a few years ago on the PlayStation 3, there was a massive security breach. The entire PlayStation network went down for a couple of hours. It might have been even a couple of days, if I remember, it's so long ago now. And it just caused pure chaos, and nobody could get online, nobody could play games. And this was with a big game. It wasn't even with a mod as far as I remember. But you could see how that could be quite scary for Sony or Microsoft, because then they'd have to, number one, remove the mod from the game and from their platform. Then either they'd remove the game, or they'd have to work out some way where they just completely ban any more mods from being on that game. And then that could, if that happened on one game, it could affect another game that also has mods, and they could just remove mods completely altogether and say, we're not doing this because it's just not worth the risk. It makes sense when you look at it like that it is a very risky process. I don't know how they do it on Steam. I don't know what the Steam acceptance process is to be able to get mods on there and stuff. I'm guessing they have a way to do it. That's why they can do it very quickly. There's also a resources issue where I suppose when you want to upload a mod to PC version of DayZ, it just goes straight to the Steam Workshop and then it's there, and then you can download it as just like that. Whereas on console, there, especially on this current gen of consoles, there is no like workshop area. There's no way you could just go in and download certain mods for this game. Now, unless they add something like that into the PlayStation Store, maybe something like that could work, but it's definitely not going to happen on this current version of consoles. I definitely don't see it happening anyway. It doesn't look like there'd be no point in them doing it now when you're so close to, you know, the current next gen consoles coming out. When it comes to the next gen version of consoles, we don't know what the story is going to be with that. They could come along and be like, oh, okay, we've met this kind of workshop system, so you can upload mods, but they might have. The chances are they probably haven't. We'll just have to wait and see. We don't know yet. The consoles are only around the corner. They're a couple of months out, like 2 or 3 months away. Hopefully, I really do hope that they do have some system in place like that where you can be able to play mods and stuff like that, but as of right now they can't. And then there is another side to it as well. This mainly coincides with the current generation of consoles, the PS4 and the Xbox One. Those consoles are not very powerful in today's standards. So I know the base game of DayZ at the moment, the vanilla version of it, doesn't run that well on consoles. It runs between 30 and 45 FPS maximum. It's definitely not running at 60 FPS. You can tell that by clips I've watched and stuff. It's just, you know, it's very clunky and stuff like that. Imagine you wanted to put the expansion mod on your server on consoles, and you wanted to use the DayZ expansion or the DayZ expansion mod Churnerous map that they have, you know, redone, and they've added textures to it and overgrown and all that. On PC, when you load that map onto your server, you lose about 20 to 25 FPS as it is. Now that's alright on PC, because when I'm playing I get about 100 FPS on PC, so if I'm losing 20, it's not that big of a deal. It still runs fine. Could you imagine losing 20 FPS on console version? If the game is already running between 40 and 30 FPS, it's going to be a big loss, and the game is just going to become very hard to play, pretty much borderline unplayable, unless you're like playing at 20 FPS. There is a reason there where there's just not enough hardware power in these current ones to be able to do it. Next gen consoles, I know they're based Ryzen architecture and stuff like that, so they will be powerful, or they should be. We'll just have to wait and see again. But yeah, it should be interesting to see with the new consoles, because I really hope that people will be able to, you know, do a lot more on the console version of the game. But it goes for the same then with the helicopters and boats and stuff. They're glitchy and they're laggy enough on PC as it is. You know, they can tend to fly off, or they can explode, you know, for no reason and stuff. If they're that bad on PC as it is, could you imagine having to try to deal with that on console? You know, it's just not going to work out very well. It's not going to be a very enjoyable experience. But yeah, that kind of being said, I really do hope that in the future console players that play DayZ will be able to get mods, because I always see it there's multiple comments on a mod showcase video I do coming. Will this come to console? Will it come to Xbox? Will it come to PlayStation? And I hope you get to experience that with us as well, because some of the mods out there are truly amazing. You know, they really do work very, very well. It won't come on this generation of consoles. The PS4 and the Xbox One, there's no way it will happen. It's not possible. On the newer gen of consoles, the PS5 and the Xbox X, or whatever it's called these days, there is a possibility. Now, it hasn't been confirmed, so don't take what I'm saying as confirmation, because it has not been confirmed. But you never know. There's always a chance that it could happen. I hope it does. I hope it does, because it would make the console experience for you better, and then you'll be able to experience the mods with us as well. There is also a file on the console versions that will allow you to edit some stuff. It's called the init.c file, and apparently I have heard some people say this, that some server owners on console will be getting access to this init.c file, where you'll be able to change, I think it's the weather and some spawns and like loot spawns and stuff like that. As far as I know, that's it, but that's about all that's coming so far. So I really do hope you'll be able to get something more on the next gen of consoles. All we can do is wait, but if any of it ever does come out and it ever does become confirmed, I'll 100% make a video on it to leave you know all the details about it. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope this helps kind of clear it up, and hope this helps some people out there and makes them understand, you know, why they can't come to consoles. So yeah, otherwise than that, I should catch you guys in the next video. So peace out for now.